As the trailer fades, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. This is the final stretch of a story that has defined a generation of television. Outlander Season 8 isn't promising comfort, and it isn't promising happily ever afters. Instead, it's holding up a mirror to love, sacrifice, and destiny, and daring us to ask, what are we willing to lose for the people we love? The devastating tone of the trailer is deliberate. It's a farewell dressed in shadows. Every lingering glance, every trembling voice, every half-spoken goodbye reminds us that the end has already begun. Outlander has always been a story about crossing impossible boundaries between time, between worlds, between hearts. But now, the boundary being crossed is the final one. The boundary between holding on and letting go. And yet, even in devastation, there is beauty. The beauty of love that burns even when it knows it cannot last forever. The beauty of courage in the face of heartbreak. The beauty of a family that refuses to surrender, even as fate writes its cruelest chapter. This is why fans return season after season. Not just for the battles, not just for the romances, but for the way Outlander captures the fragile strength of the human spirit. So, when Season 8 finally arrives, it won't simply be entertainment. It will be a goodbye letter, written in tears and hope, carried across time like every other message this story has given us. And that's what makes this trailer devastating. It isn't warning us of destruction, it's preparing us for farewell. Now the question is yours. What do you think will happen in this final season? Which promises will survive, and which ones will be broken forever? Share your thoughts, your fears, and your hopes, because this isn't just the end of a show. It's the end of a journey we've taken together. And sometimes, the only way to face devastation is to face it as a family of fans, holding on to every last moment until the screen fades to black. Outlander has always been more than a show. It's been a bond between story and audience, a bridge across time that has carried us through love, war, and heartbreak. Season 8, as the trailer makes painfully clear, is the moment where that bridge begins to end. The devastation isn't only in what the characters face, it's in what we, as fans, must prepare to lose. The silence after the trailer lingers like an echo. You can almost feel the ghost of what's coming. An embrace that lasts too long. A battlefield that takes too much. A farewell whispered when words no longer matter. And yet that silence is also full of memory. Every season that came before, every vow, every kiss, every reunion, lives inside that silence. The devastation is sharp, yes, but so is the gratitude. We've walked alongside these characters for years, and even if this is the final goodbye, it's one written in the ink of love. This is why the Season 8 trailer matters so much. It isn't just teasing the end. It's reminding us why the story mattered in the first place. It's telling us that even in devastation there is meaning. That every sacrifice, every tear, every moment of courage leaves something behind. And that is what Outlander has always promised. That love is never truly lost, even when time steals it from us. So now the journey is in your hands. What do you see in this trailer? Do you believe it foreshadows death? Or do you think it hides a bittersweet hope? Will Jamie and Claire's love survive in legend? Or will it be shattered in reality? Share your theories, your fears, and your goodbyes, because this season is as much yours as it is theirs. And when the final episode comes, remember this: devastation is not the end. It is proof that a story touched us so deeply, it left us changed. Outlander Season 8 may close the book, but the echoes of its love will remain long after the screen fades to black. And so, as the trailer fades into darkness, we are left with the echo of Outlander's greatest lesson. Love is both our strength and our devastation. Season 8 is not just the end of a story. It is the final test of everything the Frasers have fought for. Every moment shown in the trailer, every flicker of grief and courage, tells us that this season will not let us walk away unchanged. The devastation we feel is proof that Outlander has always been more than fiction. It's a mirror of our own lives, of the people we've loved, the sacrifices we've made, and the goodbyes we've faced. That's why this ending feels so personal. We are not only saying farewell to characters, we are saying farewell to a journey that has carried us across time itself. But endings are not just loss. They are memory. They are legacy. And Outlander's legacy is one of unshakable love, of courage in the face of fate, of the belief that even when time tears us apart, the bonds of the heart remain. That is what will stay with us long after the last episode airs. So now, the question is no longer what happens next. The question is, how will we hold on to this story when it ends? Will we carry Jamie and Claire's love as a reminder of our own? Will Brianna and Roger's sacrifices remind us to fight for our future? Will the devastation of the trailer prepare us to embrace the beauty of the farewell? Season 8 will come and go, but what it leaves behind will stay. Outlander is not just ending, it's becoming a part of us. And when the final credits roll, we'll know. Devastation is not defeat. It is the cost of having loved something so deeply that goodbye could never be easy. The story may end, but the echoes, our echoes, will live on. The Outlander Season 8 trailer doesn't just tease another chapter. It feels like the beginning of the end. Every frame carries a weight of loss, love, and destiny. The moment you press play, you realize this is not going to be a season of simple reunions or joyful victories. Instead, it is a storm of heartbreak, choices that tear families apart, and a final goodbye to a story that has owned our hearts for years. Fans call it devastating, and after watching it, you'll know exactly why. To understand why the trailer for Season 8 hits so hard, we need to look back at the journey leading up to it. Season 7 left viewers with some of the most emotional cliffhangers in the entire series. Jamie and Claire, the beating heart of this saga, had already endured wars, betrayals, and countless separations across time. Yet Season 7 ended by reminding us that their story is still under constant threat, with destiny always demanding a price. Claire found herself once again torn between her healing spirit and the brutality of the world around her. She carried the weight of choices that could destroy not only her happiness, but also the fragile hope of her family. Jamie, strong and unshakable in so many ways, was forced to confront how fragile the future really is. And as the Revolutionary War spread its shadow, the Frasers stood on the edge of history where loyalty, love, and survival no longer fit together so easily. Meanwhile, Brianna and Roger's storyline added another painful layer to the tale. Their attempts to build a safe life for their children were met with challenges no parent could ever be ready for. Time itself, once their escape, became the very danger that threatened to rip their family apart. Each decision they made seemed to echo louder than ever, reminding us that Outlander has never been about easy answers. It has always been about sacrifice. By the end of Season 7, the Frasers and their loved ones stood scattered, their futures uncertain. The trailer for Season 8 takes all those loose threads and tightens them into something even more crushing. It doesn't just continue the story. It promises to test every bond, every vow, and every dream. This isn't just another season. It feels like a final test of endurance for both the characters and the audience who have walked beside them for nearly a decade. The Season 8 trailer wastes no time. It cuts like a blade, giving us flashes of scenes that are impossible to shake. One of the first images is Claire, her eyes filled with a sorrow we've rarely seen before. She is strong, unbreakable even, but in this moment you can sense the weight of every loss pressing down on her. It's not just fear. It's the silent knowledge that something precious is slipping away. Then comes Jamie. His presence has always been the anchor of this series, but here, his face tells another story. We see him on a battlefield, surrounded by smoke, his voice echoing words that sound dangerously close to a farewell. It isn't the Jamie who charges forward with confidence. It's a man who knows he may not return. The devastation isn't in what he says. It's in the pause, the hesitation, the unspoken truth that this war could take everything. The trailer doesn't stop there. Brianna appears, holding her child close, her voice breaking as she promises to protect her family no matter the cost. But there's a haunting undertone in her words, as if she already knows that protection may mean sacrifice. The camera lingers on her eyes filled with fear that history itself is closing in on them. And then Roger, torn between faith and doubt, standing at a crossroads where every choice feels like betrayal of something or someone he loves. But perhaps the most haunting part of the trailer comes in fragments. An empty chair by the fire, a grave covered in mist, a desperate cry carried by the wind. These quick flashes don't give answers, but they plant questions that twist like a knife. Who will be left behind? Who will be forced to let go? And most painfully, which promises made in love will be broken by fate? What makes this trailer devastating isn't just the battles or the tears. It's the silence in between. It's the moments where characters don't speak, where all we see is a look, a breath, or a final embrace that feels far too much like goodbye. Outlander has always balanced hope and despair, but Season 8's trailer leans heavily into the darkness, warning us that not everyone may survive what's coming. The trailer doesn't just show battles and heartbreak. It whispers the themes that will shape the entire season. At its core, Season 8 is about the cost of love. Every character seems to be standing at a crossroads where devotion collides with destiny. Claire and Jamie, who have survived wars, time, and betrayal, now face the cruel truth. Sometimes love cannot protect you from loss. The way they look at each other in the trailer, soft, lingering, almost fearful, says everything. It's as if they both know their time together is running out. But beyond love, there is the shadow of history. Outlander has always balanced the intimate lives of its characters against the unstoppable tide of war and time. Season 8 leans heavier into this than ever before. The Revolutionary War rages in the background, not as a distant event, but as a storm swallowing every choice, every dream. The trailer shows crumbling homes, torn families, and soldiers marching into uncertainty. It's devastating because we know history cannot be rewritten, and yet the Frasers must still live inside it. Another theme that emerges is sacrifice across generations. Brianna and Roger's story highlights this painfully. Their fight is no longer just about survival. It's about the legacy they will leave behind for their children. The trailer makes it clear, protecting the future may come at the expense of the present. Parents are forced to choose between staying together or ensuring their children are safe, even if it means separation. It's a quiet devastation, one that cuts deeper than the violence of war. Finally, there is the theme of time itself, a character in its own right. Time is both gift and curse in Outlander. The trailer reminds us that jumping through time doesn't erase pain, it multiplies it. Each leap carries consequences, and in Season 8, those consequences look heavier than ever. The faces in the trailer, haunted and weary, reveal what it truly means to live across centuries. You don't just lose people once, you lose them over and over again. Season 8 isn't just about endings, it's about what we hold on to when endings come. The devastating beauty of this trailer lies in the way it forces us to confront the truth. Sometimes love doesn't conquer all. Sometimes time doesn't heal. And sometimes survival means letting go of the very people you fought to save. The moment the trailer dropped, the Outlander fandom exploded. Social media filled with shock, tears, and wild theories within minutes. Some fans confessed they had to pause the trailer just to breathe, because the images were too heavy, too final. Others admitted they replayed certain moments over and over, searching for clues, tiny gestures, hidden lines of dialogue, even the way the camera lingered on a fading candle. To the Outlander community, nothing is accidental. Every frame is a puzzle piece, and fans are desperate to fit them together. One of the loudest reactions has been fear of loss. Many believe the trailer is hinting at a devastating goodbye to one of the show's most beloved characters. The grave shown in the mist, the empty chair by the fire, these aren't just symbols. They feel like warnings. Fans debate endlessly. Is this the end for Jamie, for Claire, or for someone we least expect? Theories spiral into late-night discussions, where hope fights against dread. Some hold tightly to the belief that love will endure, while others brace themselves for heartbreak. Another wave of reaction is about legacy. Longtime viewers are painfully aware that Season 8 is the final season, and the trailer's devastating tone only confirms what they've always feared. Not every story can end with joy. Many fans speak about how Outlander has grown with them, how Jamie and Claire's love carried them through their own struggles, and how this final chapter feels personal. It isn't just the end of a show. It's the end of a shared journey that has lasted nearly a decade. Expectations are sky high, but they're layered with dread. Fans expect sacrifice. They expect reunions laced with goodbyes. They expect that the theme of devastation in the trailer isn't a trick. It's a promise. And yet, buried in all that fear, there's still hope. Hope that even if fate is cruel, Outlander will leave us with moments of tenderness, with echoes of love that will outlast the heartbreak. The fans are ready, but they know it won't be easy. This is why the trailer feels devastating. It doesn't just show us what's coming. It forces us to imagine the ending before it even arrives. And for Outlander fans, that is the hardest journey of all.